I want to go back to what Lisa mentioned about Google no longer allowing advertising of ICOs. Companies clearly taking action into their own hands. This is something we've seen not just when it comes to ICOs, but other matters as well. What's the appetite from where you sit and what you've observed? What's the appetite for Congress following existing policy or existing laws, existing rules, perhaps in other countries, versus creating policy from scratch?
So creating policy from scratch is pretty hard in Washington, D.C., and it's easy to get wrong. So we made some new laws in response to the early internet back in the 90s that now look pretty worse for wear, and that's why you get privacy over your emails, but only if you don't open them, and only if you don't open them for 30 days. It doesn't make sense. So it's dangerous to draft new law too soon because the technology keeps changing, and then the laws look strange and out of date and have unintended consequences. But I'll also say that the securities laws in this country, the Howey test, are kind of remarkable. And this isn't just me geeking out as a lawyer. It's amazing that a test developed back in the 1940s, 1950s can be flexible enough to reach the investor protection concerns we'd have about tokens, even though it was originally about oranges. Because I think it's a good test. I think the SEC has done a good job implementing it. And I think where it falls short, where it no longer covers an activity, I think that's where the CFTC picks up the activity, because at that point it's not a security. At that point it's a different kind of asset, something like gold, something like a commodity.
So unfortunately, crypto market is getting crushed right now, and I wanted to share some news. There's a huge game of cat and mouse with the regulation, and this is unfortunately going to be holding the market back until we get the proper regulation where Wall Street can actually put in their money into this market. We're unfortunately going to deal with a small market cap of 300, 400, 500 billion. And you're going to have a lot of people that are not going to invest in cryptos, because if you go down to the smaller coins, it's very easy to manipulate these coins. It's very easy to set up pump groups, and a couple $1 million can manipulate the price. Obviously, this threat goes away when you have a market cap of over $1 trillion or $2 trillion. It becomes a lot harder to manipulate currencies on exchanges. So when this is going to happen, I still believe it's going to be by the end of the year, and it's important to pay attention to this regulation news. It is kind of funny how difficult it is going to be to regulate these new technologies, and they're trying to use old laws to continue to regulate it. But I'm not worried, because the best news I can offer is that Goldman Sachs and some of these major investment banks have already put their money into cryptocurrency. And if you go through my channel, there's billionaires who are also investing. And these people are smart, and they know that this is an emerging technology. And it's just like any other emerging technology, it's going to be inefficient and not practical for a while. An example I've used in the past is the cell phone. It did not make sense in the 90s, and it was just a yuppie tool. My one worry, though, is I really hope that cryptocurrencies is not Google Glasses, and I don't think so. I think Google Glasses is something completely different, but that's the fear, that's the doubt. That's why people think that maybe crypto will go away completely, which I'm not worried about. I don't think so. I just think that the regulation and the technology needs to improve, and that's just with time. So if you do follow this channel, I'll be sharing plenty of news to cover regulation, cover what the billionaires, what the smart money, the smart investors are doing, and hopefully give you some good advice. And long term, I still think that at least this year, especially if you're buying in at the 300 billion market cap, I think crypto will outperform any asset class, whether it's stocks, bonds, real estate, you name it. And I'm putting my money where my mouth is. I'm buying right now a good amount of crypto as this dip occurs. And just so you know, if you don't know my background, I'm a pretty successful real estate investor, but my success is due more to timing. I bought most of my real estate from 2010 to 2012, and that's why I can sit here and make these YouTube videos for fun, because I'm collecting rent, and it's great. But it's the same thing with this cryptocurrency, is you got to be able to obviously get in at the right time. But at the same time, I feel like if you're going to be successful in crypto investing in general, you need to expand your knowledge. You need to learn, and watch out for YouTube scams. That's another thing I try to share on this channel, is don't waste your money on how-to books or guides or seminars. There's enough free information, and me myself, I plan on this channel just providing free content and educating everyone. And I know some people have been really nice, and they are like, oh, what's your address to send some Bitcoin, or go get a Patreon. Hey, if I am true to what I'm saying, I mean, I'm a successful real estate investor. I make more than enough money so that I don't need to sell you YouTube books. I don't need you to donate me money. All I want you to do is take whatever money you were going to try to donate and put it into your investments, make the money grow, and then maybe when you become a millionaire, then remember me and send me some money or do a real estate investment with me. Long term, that's what I really want to do. So maybe I create some successful investors here that will do a hedge fund or something on real estate, crypto investments. I don't know. But anyways, have a great day. Do not panic about this market. Do not fire sell. And the best thing you can do is watch this channel. So subscribe, and I will talk to you guys soon.